Oh, wow. He has a horrible voice. It doesn't sound that bad, but hello, good morning, guys. Good morning. It is High Priestess Jamila. It's almost 7 a.m. the day after Martin Luther King's birthday, the 21st of 2020. Good morning, y'all. What's wrong, Jay?
Um,
You okay?
I'm okay.
Okay. Good morning, guys. This is High Priestess Jamila. I wanted to come and speak about psychic attacks. How to stay sane during a psychic attack. I was having psychic attacks yesterday. You know, psychic attacks don't always have to come from your enemy. Sometimes I can see you guys being psychically attacked by something that's in your memory and it's coming back to you in your memory. So that's a psychic attack too. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about how to stay sane, like different things that you can do. But at the end of the day, sometimes you just gotta go through the motions. You just gotta go through it, you know? Hold on a minute. Now, I honestly believe that negative energy can sometimes come from people. Well, not sometimes. I think that when people are attacking others, they're actually under attack at that moment. And the only thing that they know how to do is attack somebody else. I've seen it happen. I have. I'm sort of different. Like if I have an anxiety attack, if I'm having an anxiety attack, I don't take it out on others. But if I were having an allergic reaction, like I will have an allergic reaction if you cook shrimp in the house. If you cook seafood in the house with me, it makes me wheezy. It makes me feel like something's going on, like something like I can't breathe. So I really am allergic to seafood. I can eat fish, but you know that see an allergic reaction is somewhat of a psychoactive reaction too, because your mind keeps remembering the way your body reacted to something. So, for example, in order for me to preserve myself, I'm not going to eat shrimp. Like, I'm going to say, oh, no, I remember. You know, I'm going to always know that I'm allergic to shellfish. I'm going to always know it. I'm not going to go somewhere and forget. You know what I'm saying? So, those are those psychic experiences. That's considered to be foresight. Okay. That's basic foresight. You know, if you know that you have an allergic reaction to shellfish, you're not going to eat it because you remember what happened, you know, when you ate it the last several times. So because y'all, I loved me some shrimp, but I won't eat it. I just, nah, it's not worth the reaction that I get. The reaction that I get is so uncomfortable that I know not to eat that no more. Okay. So anyway, um, psychic attacks are very similar. So when a lot of your panic attacks, okay, so psychic attacks doesn't necessarily mean that somebody's psychically attacking you. Sometimes it can be your own memory that's coming back to you. Now, I didn't check to see if somebody was psychically attacking me yet because they weren't. Yesterday, I was just going through the motions. I was very emotional yesterday. I cried for hours yesterday. Like, I'm not even going to lie to you. It was a mixture of what I had been through and then the suffering of others. I've been going through that since I was a kid. It is because it does create uncomfortable feelings when you see things going on around you that you're either not familiar with seeing or you just don't want to see. It's like, no, this is unpleasant. I don't want to see this. I don't want to witness this. I'd rather go and look at something beautiful and nice. So yesterday I was having a psychic attack, but it was actually a healing attack. It was healing. Um, I noticed that every now and then I have to come on YouTube and just explode. I'm not going to internalize all that stuff though, because I am doing that healing ritual with Archangel Raphael. And whenever you're doing healing, a negative memory is going to come back and you are going to release it somehow. And I released a whole lot. Like, I'm talking about boatloads of tears. I could have saved my tears in a jar yesterday. Hey, Jacretia. All that denying, like the past few years, all the denying of things that I would see and witness that were hurting me, that was coming back. Um, but I was also at the same time making sense of it. I was making sense of it. That's just like, um, for some reason there was a troll that kept calling me at the same time while I was going. You know what? I sometimes do think that these trolls are literally like psychic vampires. I really do. I think that they come to suck energy. Because, like, why would you be calling me if you know that I'm going through something? Why would you call me? Like, that's the last thing that unless I'm calling to comfort somebody, I'm not going to be calling them. It's so bizarre. But, today I was actually thinking, and I do know that my mind feels better. Your mind has to go through shit to heal from certain stuff. It does. It has to, you have to. And you know what? Just sitting there suffering in silence is usually not what people do. People are going to vocalize, when they're hurting because of something. I think yesterday I was just releasing something, which is healthy. Okay. Today I woke up, I stayed up all night. I did. I stayed up all night. I was crying and I cried all day. I just laid in bed and just cried. Of course I did other stuff, like I had to get up, I had to go run some errands yesterday too. And found some money online. I just literally found some money, made some money. I wasn't able to do readings yesterday. I couldn't do no readings. I actually had a Reiki session scheduled with a client and I canceled. I said I can't do a Reiki session with me feeling the way that I'm feeling, which made a lot of sense. Now I'll be able to do it today. It'll be okay for me to do it today, but yesterday was just not the best day. And then also I was dealing with other stuff. So, my clients are always so loving and so understanding. And whenever you guys have to cancel or reschedule with me, it's not that big of a deal. Honestly, it happens. And I think that right now there's something going on because it was so weird. Because it seems like either something became unblocked or either there was an energy shift. Now, I will tell you that what people say to you, you do take into your subconscious, but you have to use common sense when you're dealing with the things that I'm dealing with. Because there's been a lot of you that have said, I would love to go on YouTube and be a vlogger or either go on there and be a psychic. But many of you won't do it. Like, I talk to people, y'all don't realize how many people I talk to every single day that would love to do readings on YouTube, but they don't because of the way people are on here. So, you know what? I wish I could start like a psychic network. I'm thinking about trying to do it. like start a psychic network for psychics to come to my website, kind of like YouTube, but only on a very, very small scale. So I was thinking about doing it, and I could do it. Like, I would wait though, because obviously, I mean, unless I had a free trial or something. If you can get a free trial of something, you can pop stuff off real quick and pay for it within a week. I've noticed that about some of these platforms on YouTube, on the internet, not YouTube, but on the internet. I honestly was thinking about that, so that psychics and people that are doing readings and channeling and stuff can do it from a much safer place, because and it's so many psychics out here on YouTube. It really is. And so yesterday I was kind of releasing some stuff, and I needed to. I do really feel that way. I do seriously have a serious problem with the way that YouTube allows their vloggers to be treated. But I think yesterday I was extra, extra, extra emotional about it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm not going to leave YouTube. This is how I make my money. So I'm not an idiot, but that's why I'm splaining today. But I was having a psychic attack because it was so much stuff coming out of me. I was so emotional, and then me and one of my clients actually got closer. Like, I just realized how much she cares about me and how much I care about her. So, that was something that I liked. And then also I had been taking these love baths, and sometimes things can work like in the opposite way, because yesterday I needed a lot of love, and I don't usually y'all, I'm usually self-sustaining. I usually don't need love. Yesterday I needed love. I did. And I got it from several areas. I just needed extra because I was just like, oh, I was feeling so emotional. Now, for some reason, these trolls, they're very interesting because they think that it has something to do with where I'm living or how much money I have. But that has nothing to do with it. Even though, I mean, listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. If I ever go short on money and I can't go to somebody else to get it from them, there's always payday loans. I mean, if you get desperate for cash, guys, don't ever just go, oh my God, it's over, I'm homeless. Now, if you don't have a bank account, then, you know, I had a troll that called me, and yes, I did listen to your message. You know what? It's so bizarre the way people that can't obtain things try to make you feel like it's hard for you to obtain it. I mean, 3 months ago, I would say that, yeah, it would be difficult for me to find a house, but not today, because number one, my credit score has went up about 100 points. Okay, because again, these are things that I would have done to get my house, regardless to if I were living in an extended stay or if I were living in that house. These were things that had to be done. So this person called me. It was so hilarious. They told me that, what my credit score was. They told me that, and just to let you guys know, you can get a mortgage with a credit score of 550. I think that's the minimum, or either 565. You can get a mortgage. You can buy a house with a credit score of 555. Now, you want all of the bureaus to be the same thing, because some of them pull from TransUnion, some of them pull from Experian, some of them pull from Equifax. Okay, it just depends. Now, this person told me that, what did they say? They said that my credit score was only 500. They told me that I was just looking at open houses, is what they told me. When I went to go look at actual real houses that I'm choosing from, this guy tells me that I was only looking at an open house. It would be that that I'm not getting my own place. This is what he told me. Now I'm gonna break this down psychologically for you guys when I'm done telling you. He said you're just looking at open houses, you're not getting your own place. Your credit does not qualify, is what he told me, right? He said your credit score is too low. You've only had your bank for a month. And it was something else that he said, and you have no money. Now, guys, I don't know about y'all, but if y'all didn't go up there to Jackson Hewitt or H&R Block and get that advance on your tax refund, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, listen. So people project, right? People project. I think that this because I was thinking, I said, why is this part? You know how like when you get some information and your mind immediately reacts to it. Everything that as a human being you were told, your mind immediately reacts. So it was preposterous because I said, first of all, my credit score is not 500. My credit score is 580. Okay. And I've been with my bank for 3 months, over 3 months. All they want is when you're self employed, all they want to see is your bank statements. Okay. Some of them that are the more higher scale properties, they want to see your taxes. So I filed taxes and made money every year with the IRS. So I think that the reason why some of these trolls do that is because they can't get their own place. I've got everything I need to get my own place. I've got bank statements. I've got 3 months of bank statements with a real bank. Like finally, all this happened after I left PayPal. But I think that trolls don't have it. They don't have it. So what they do is they're so upset about not being able to have their own place. I truly believe this because listen, first of all, getting your own place is not that difficult. I've been doing it for years with or without Section 8. Also, even if you have Section 8, you still have to qualify for these places. They don't just give you houses if you have a housing voucher. That's a lie. The reason why I know that for sure is because I worked for Linden Hill Apartments in Kansas City for years. I worked at several Section 8 properties. They still check your credit. You can't have an eviction. Okay, you can't have an eviction in a lot of these places. They don't require, you can't have an eviction past 3 years or 5 years. It depends on where you rent from. The point is that I think that some of these people do that because I think that they are just, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why you think that you're going to affect somebody, but I think that they think that they're having an effect on somebody because somebody affected them. Somebody told this troll that they couldn't get their own place. Probably his mother. Probably his mother. I'm not even going to lie to you. His mama probably said, "You're not moving out. You're going to stay here and rub my feet every night. You hear me, boy? Okay, your credit score is only 500." Because, no. Now, I will tell you that if your credit score is 650 or 700 or 800, you can get the best, most upscale property. You're going to qualify for a house. You're going to qualify for $100,000 loan. You're going to qualify for all of that. Uh-oh, Jay, go in the bathroom, baby. Go in the bathroom, sweetie. Help him to the bathroom. Get all that out, baby. Is there a bag right there he can? Oh, I'll just get it up. So, but just to let you guys know, you can stop calling me. First of all, I've been out on my own. It's so bizarre. It's bizarre. I've been out on my own since I was in my 20s. Okay. It's not that difficult. Even if you contact a place that's for rent and they deny you, they're going to tell you what you have to do to get your place. They're going to say, hey, we either need a co-signer or, you need to get your credit score up to here, here, here. Just go get your own place. I think a lot of these people, I swear to Goddess, anybody that you see out in social media trying to tell somebody, and this don't even have nothing to do with race relations. This is just a codependent person that wants to see other people codependent. A person that has their own place already knows what it takes to get their own place. Like, keep in mind, I've been out on my own for years, but it's so weird, y'all. I thought about uploading the video because this guy is so weird. Some people can be butthurt about the simplest things. This man actually decided to call my phone because he saw me house hunting, to tell me that I could, to tell me that why would you, first of all, people have to live in places. There's no way that people can just not live somewhere. So sometimes I be thinking that it's this one prostitute that's homeless. I think it's her doing it. I think she's using some kind of voice changing technology. And every time I do work on her, something bad happens to her like immediately. Every single time I do work on her, y'all. It's crazy. But I mean, to be honest with you, if she'd leave me alone, or if these people would leave me alone, they'd be okay. Getting your own place is not that difficult. Why do you keep calling me? Like, what do you think you're gonna accomplish with that? I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna stay in a freaking hotel for the rest of my life. Obviously, it's just. Anyway, I don't have fears like that. Okay. I know that I'm already approved with the place that I'm renting from. I'm just gathering up the money. Like, getting approved to rent a place is not that difficult. Yeah, some of them may turn you down. Some of them may say, no, I'm not going to rent to you. I want you to have more, I want your credit score to be higher. But it's like, it's kind of like destiny. I mean, I've always had nice houses. Now that I'm going out there to get them on my own, I'm gonna have an even nicer house. You know what I'm saying? I mean, again, I thought that I was doing what was good for my family because I felt like the extra help would be beneficial, which it was in a lot of the cases. It was. It was a stepping stone. Hmm. Tila Tequila. She's it's kind of nerve wracking though. It's very nerve wracking. It is. When I went to go look at her the last time, but she's doing good in life or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't knock her. I'm worried about what I'm trying to do with myself. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be bothered with stuff like that because I think that looking at her disturbed me yesterday too. It was kind of disturbing, just like, well, I think that she has a different spiritual belief system than I do, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But you could pray to Jesus. If I think if you pray to Jesus, though, I think that Jesus would eventually get you an apartment. But I think Jesus is just going to tell you, Jesus is going to tell you to get your credit together. Look, just because I'm a witch doesn't mean that I don't have to qualify like everybody else. And like, I think that they thought that, like, okay, there were times when I've had less than perfect credit and I've had to do that, but it's different now. Like, my spirits told me to not even use my honey jar. They said, you don't even have to worry about that. Like, once you pretty much done a honey jar, the work is done. I don't know if y'all knew that, but like, if you, like, the simplest thing can be a honey jar. In fact, I need to put my honey jar up on the website. I need to put that ritual up on my website. Honey jars are amazing. So my spirits was like, well, you don't need the honey jar. They kept telling me because I kept getting more and more frustrated. But it does take a month or two to get your credit together. It does. It takes a month or two. That is realistic. Okay, realistically, if your credit score is where it's gonna be. You're nobody. What are they gonna do? They're gonna say, "Oh, I'm not gonna rent to you at all." Now I'm gonna tell you something. That landlord, I just can't use that old landlord as a reference. I'm not going to. If I want to have a house, I ain't gonna tell no. I don't even tell my the new people that I'm renting from. It's a company. It's not a private, person. They don't even know nothing about this old landlord for what. I got my lawyer dealing with him. Seriously. Because the only way that I wouldn't be able to get my own place is if I were evicted. Now, nobody would rent to me. If I had an eviction on my record, nobody would rent to me, but I don't. Hello, thank you, goddess. I don't have an eviction on my record. If you are somebody that has a recent eviction, you're not gonna get your own. It's gonna be very difficult for you to rent. It'll be easier for you. You might as well go stay in an extended stay and get your credit score up so you can buy a house if you have an eviction. You cannot. They most places like upscale, like the places that I was looking at, they not gonna rent to you. That's the reason why my spirits won that case for me. I do not have any recent evictions. Not in the past 5 years, not in the past 10 years, not in the past 15 years. So that landlord thought he was going to get that off, but he didn't. None of these upscale places have any reason to just file eviction on you unless you don't pay your rent. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't like I just want people to know that I don't necessarily have anything to worry about. Like that is just ridiculous. Now, if you are somebody that has those challenges, then yeah, you're going to have a challenge with getting your own place. Absolutely. If that was me 3 months ago, that's why I did not apply. I didn't bother to apply. I knew what my credit score was. And I knew that they would deny me solely based upon your credit. Your credit has to be at least at least 560 is what I would say would be the rule of thumb. And you're gonna find plenty of places that will rent to you. Even some of the there's this one company that they had to reprocess my application because my credit score was like 22 points under. And they said if you get your credit score up, we'll reprocess your application and we'll accept it. And they have a lot of nice houses. So, I don't have to worry about renting. I can rent or buy if I want. To be honest with you, I wish I could buy, but I got to get somewhere and save up money. It's, so I think that when people try to make stuff hard for you, like for example, the haters that wanted to make it hard for me to run my business on YouTube, it's because they're having a hard time in life and they want to make things harder for you. So people give people what they are getting. It is the simple law of the universe. So that's why I be saying, y'all, when you are being psychically attacked by others, have common sense and ground yourself. Don't have those fears and don't allow those fears to manifest in your mind, because then the things that people intend for you is what can happen. The stuff that people want to happen to you. Now, in this extended stay, if you're staying in an extended stay and you don't have like money in the bank, or if you don't know how to get money real fast, people like that could possibly negatively affect you to where you be pushed out into the streets. I'm pretty sure that has happened to some people. For me, it has not happened to me because, damn it, if I don't have if plan A don't work, then plan B definitely worked. I ain't never had to go past plan B. Now plan C definitely gonna work, and then plan D is definitely gonna work because I can always get in touch with my daddy. I have a daddy that's still alive. I have a father that's still alive. Okay, seriously. And then also, I can if I'm strapped for cash, I can always get it. There's always ways. Okay, and honestly, I had to get that. Oh guys, I got good news yesterday too. They removed that bogus account from my credit yesterday. I got the notification and like I was so relieved. I was like, wow, this is amazing because my credit score needs to go back up. I'm gonna be contacting them today, like, okay, y'all remove that debt. Now y'all need to repair my credit score. They need to I'm gonna need to see an increase on points on my credit, or else I'm gonna be calling the credit bureaus. Because and they'll try to get over, you gotta complain to them. My credit score probably gonna go up to about 600, just under 600. And if you're just under 600 or just over, you have fair credit, you can get whatever you want. I can go and get a $10,000 loan if I want right now. Like I've got the proof of income. I earn income. I earn a steady stream of income. So somebody that's in my position doesn't have to worry about all this crap that these trolls who are sleeping in their car. I'm not trying to diss you or whatever, because I know exactly who's been harassing me about that. It's like, trust me, my family is going to have a nice, spacious home to live in. Okay. Oh, thank you, goddess. And I just got to, thank you, goddess. Yeah, don't, like, guys, if you, listen, it's so elementary. Adults are now, and these are grown people that are saying and doing this stuff. And I believe that it's because it's a person that doesn't have enough income, that doesn't qualify, that wants to call and say that to me. You know what? I don't have anywhere to upload stuff. So what I do is I upload it to my Facebook. So I'm gonna upload that. I don't know. I may or I may not. I can, but like, it's the voice. The voice is obviously somebody's using a voice changer, because I think it's a woman. And I don't know, it's so weird because I think it's this one chick. People on YouTube can be weird. They can really be weird, okay? To the point where they take special interest in you. But I'm not dumb. I'm not a little kid. I'm not going to allow somebody like to convince me of what I can. Like, I'm going to sit here and go, oh, I can't get my own place. I'm going to cry. No, that's not a problem. The problem is staying sane while you're dealing with people. That's what you got to do. That's why I'm talking about this now. Because, and yesterday I was on the phone all day. I needed, like, I needed to be taken care of yesterday. And I think I had that, you know what I'm saying? And I got through it because I was really emotional. And the reason why I was emotional is because I'm healing and something is about to happen. Like, my spirits told me, like every single time when I start getting to the point where I start breaking down, you can tell that something is getting ready to happen that's good, because nothing but good stuff happened to me yesterday. I had no reason to complain, really. I just was extra emotional, and like it was like waterworks. That's a good sign when you crying too, because I was like, where are all these tears coming from? It was just so many tears, but it wasn't like it wasn't tears of pain. It was releasing, because honestly, I have, and you know what? I can go to Zillow. You know that you can actually get your credit score up, and you can go to Zillow and you can rent from private people on there too. I personally don't even want to rent. I'm not really renting from anybody privately anymore. My spirits are not having it. I'm not having it. I can't do no private landlords no more. Mm-mm. They're too unprofessional. They get obsessed with you. That's not safe to do that. I wouldn't suggest any woman to do that. Don't do it. Unless you're married and you have a husband. But you can have a private landlord that stalks you and your husband too, though. Everybody always think that having a husband is going to cure everything. That don't always cure everything. Your husband can get stalked just like you. They can, people can do stuff to a man just like they can do stuff to a woman. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, now trust me, it'll, and especially being income tax time too. But money is not the problem. But of course, you guys do know that when you do get y'all income tax checks, and if y'all have any debt, pay it. Call those folks that's on your credit report. I know that listen, there are some of these places that will tell you to not pay your credit off. Don't listen to them. I don't care if it's a debt from either a year ago or 2 years ago or maybe even 3 years ago. If it's sitting on your credit unpaid, it's going to look really bad. Now, it already looks bad that you paid it late, but as long as your debt is paid, your credit score is going to go up. So, what I want you guys to do with your income tax this year is pay off your damn credit if you have one coming. Now, if you don't have an income tax coming, then get your hustle loan and pay off your debt. Okay, but if you need that extra money, pay it off. And then that way your money will increase too when you pay your debts. Sometimes it's important to pay your debts and have good credit. Okay. So, do that. Make sure that you're being responsible, and then you will be able to get your own place and you'll be able to go in and tour properties, and people will be like, yeah, you're approved, go and take a look at all of our houses and see which one you like best. Then you can get to that point. And until you get to that point, you just gonna be online calling people randomly. I was like, but you're a troll that's calling my business line. That's why I don't even get upset about stuff like that. But I felt like this person just needs some guidance, because for you to and literally, it don't even have to go deep as the war on women. And the now I will tell you that men, for some reason, I've had men do this to me, but it's like I'm still gonna, I'm still gonna be okay. Like, you realize that you're still gonna be okay. You can't convince yourself as a woman that, why would, unless a place just decided to discriminate against me. And there has been housing discrimination against women. Okay. She's saying that, Kim Bean, I'm sorry, you still here? I want to rap with you about that real quick, but I don't want to talk about it unless you in here. So let me know if you still in here, because I want to talk about that having sex with Jesus. That's interesting that she said that. Yes. Oh God, guys. And let me just tell you guys about this. You know what? I don't necessarily want to say these things publicly, but I've been running, like, I've got a lot of gems that I can give to you guys, but I don't want to do it publicly. I'd rather do it privately. So like I want to start doing like credit consultation readings too, because there's so much information that I have for you guys that will help you improve your credit. Okay, it will help you, like, literally, if you take the steps, your credit score will go up. There's actually this one app. I'm gonna give you guys a hint. There's this one app that you can actually borrow like up to $500 if, like, you're strapped for cash. You can borrow the money. They're gonna charge you a monthly fee, but what they'll do is they'll take it out of your bank account. And the repayment terms are very easy, and they report to the bureau, so you can get your credit score up in a matter of weeks. It's called I think it's called Borrow and Credit Repair. And but you just have to have a regular bank account. Okay, you got to have like an account with like Wells Fargo, Chase. If you get one of those accounts, especially those second chance checking accounts, you'll qualify for that stuff, but you gotta have some kind of money going into it. See, I have a credit card processor, I have a website, I have Etsy, that I do make money on. So as long as they see money going in there, you'll qualify for this stuff. That's the reason why I told you guys that either you got to have either a job or either an income. Okay. Literally, you can't get much of anywhere in this world without having at least that. Okay. Now, if you somebody that's out here hustling on the streets and all you have is cash, then that's a totally different thing. But right now, Jamila could go and qualify for a mortgage loan. I've got 3 months of bank statements that show deposits coming in and out, you know. So I'm Gucci. You can get yourself to that point, but you just have to be patient. And I had the tower card. I'm so thankful to the universe for doing some of the things that they did. I am so thankful. You know what happened? It had a positive domino effect on life. You know what I'm saying? It really did. It had a positive domino effect because um as soon as I wasn't using PayPal anymore, it forced me to get a bank account. It forced me to get a regular credit card processor. You know what I'm saying? And you can sell stuff on Etsy just with a bank account. You don't have to have a business account. You don't even have to have PayPal to sell things on Etsy. So if you guys want to start your businesses, okay, and if because a lot of people will say, well, you know, a lot of people will go for the business ideas that cost thousands of dollars to start up, but you can start making thousands of dollars with virtually zero startup. Like you can start your own business with a cell phone and $100, as long as you've got the energy and you're, you know, doing something that people like, that people enjoy. So, you know, I know yesterday probably was could have been seen as a little self-destructive, but I'm not actually going to leave YouTube. I'm going to continue to upload my readings and continue to operate my business as normal. You know, now, like I said, I am going to expand. Okay, I think it's important for us to expand, especially people like me that talk about real conjure. If you're talking about real conjure, okay, real witchcraft, like I talk about the real stuff, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have a different target audience. If you just come on here and do tarot cards and crystals, and you're talking about incense and maybe even herbs, okay? You may be, you know, more people, you know, people are going to go, oh, okay, wait a minute. They're stepping into the realm of witchcraft. And there's a lot of people that are afraid of spirit. There's a lot of people that are afraid of your spirits. Like, that's why they don't watch. You know, that's why, you know, when you see these people that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, they have a different path. They have a different journey. You know, I can honestly say that my business has been nothing but lucrative, even though I had to deal with people that I knew in the past that were hating and not congratulating. I was releasing a lot of that yesterday too. Those things do hurt us as human beings. And we don't have to pretend that the stuff don't bother us. Like I don't like, okay, yeah, it would bother you if your mother did, if you didn't get along with your mother. It would bother you if you fell out with somebody that you used to be cool with. That would bother you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we don't have to pretend to be inhuman. It's just that it doesn't have an appropriate place over here on my channel. But seeing as though there's been a lot of people that have been hurt by that situation, that means that the situation still needs closure. They may not ever get closure. Okay, but you should, you know, if you make a choice to move forward and get closure, you know, of course, if it's, you know, I think that everything is meant to be. I think that the last 4 years or 5 years, it was what was meant to happen. It was parts of my personal life, but with a lot of lies. It wasn't the actual real story because there was lies told on top of it. But it involved personal things, and it is what it is. Do I have to be embarrassed by those things? Not really. Not really. It's a part of life. Hell, everybody's going through it. And you know, listen, I'm a witch, but that doesn't mean that I have to control everybody in my life. The only people that I should have somewhat control over in this world is myself and maybe Jacob, but not even him because Jacob is an individual. So as a witch, because yesterday I was just feeling the funk, you know what I'm saying? But as a witch, it's not my responsibility to control grown people. I can control how it affects me, and that I have done. Okay, if you can accomplish that, then you're good because yesterday my spirits was all over me. I swear y'all. And you know what? I want y'all to know this. If you are ever in a position to where you have no money, okay, I'm saying this to all of y'all out there. You have no money. You have no idea what you're gonna do. You know, you guys can contact me and I can give you quick advice and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, also, that's what the 15-minute readings are for. You can get a reading for $20. Sometimes all you need is somebody to give you some knowledge. Okay, let's say that you don't get food stamps or something. Let's say you don't have that extra help. Everybody sometimes has to wait for a deposit to come in or something. Just because we own our own businesses doesn't mean that, I wish I had a suitcase full of money. Hell, we all do. Some of these people be trying to act like, well, you ain't got a suitcase full of money. It's like, okay, there are alternatives. There's always ways for you to get some money for you to feed your family, because when, if you're a woman with kids, you're going to be faced with, oh, shoot, this kid has to eat 3 times a day with snacks. Okay, so that within itself, hey Mildred, that within itself, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so that can be difficult. That can be hard. Now I want all of us to have a suitcase full of money. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. But I do feel strongly that if we keep feeding old demons that need to die, okay, if we keep feeding them, you are going to make it harder on yourself. So that's why for me, if you on my team, if you on Tarot Queen Jamila's team, if you with me, you not going to have this energy around you that's going to make things difficult. You're not going to do that because that's all you're doing is making things difficult. I've seen people doing it. Okay, wait a minute. You're making things harder. Hold on, wait a minute, wait a minute. We trying to get hit by the easy life bug. We want the easy life. We don't want hard. No, we don't want struggle. There's nothing wrong with not wanting struggle in your life. You know what I'm saying? So sorry, guys. I'm back. I'm still here. I'm gonna give y'all a couple of minutes to come back. My phone is actually on 53%. When I started this hangout, it was at like 75. So it shut down because I had it sitting in the bed. And my phone will start getting hot if it's I have to sit it like on like a solid surface. When you sit electronics on beds and stuff, it makes them run hot. So my phone was running hot. Where was I getting at though? So all these people that run around here and make a big deal about, I mean, people know I'm gonna get my own place. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of 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 what it's gonna look like. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna look good, because if I were out there begging somebody for a place to live, then I would have to accept less. I'm not begging anybody for a place to live. It's either you qualify or you don't. You know what I'm saying? But all you got to do is fix your credit. It takes 3 months to fix your credit, and you just have to have a feasible income. It's not that big of a deal to get your own place, and but I will tell you that if you are in a moldy environment, if you are in a moldy environment, guys, if you are in a negative environment, aka mold, negativity, negative people, your landlord could be your parents. If you are in that negative environment, it's gonna make things harder because They're not going to encourage you to be independent. Okay, and that's why I said a privately owned, sometimes a privately owned Section 8 landlord. That's why I said that you guys should focus on getting yourselves to the point where you can get off of that stuff. They're gonna not want you to be independent. They're gonna want you to be dependent. They're not gonna want you to make more money. They're gonna want you to make less. The more that they can get from the government, the better. And I think that that landlord assumed that I wasn't going to be able to pay 500 a month. By the time I left, my portion was 525. It's like, dude, I'm. You can see now, they thought I was going to leave that house and be homeless. Well, if a person can pay what I pay for an extended stay, of course it's just that your credit has to qualify. So, I'm doing good in life. I'm doing good. Okay. No worries. And now I'm gonna tell y'all what Spirit wants me to do. Spirit wants me to get a house that's big enough for all of the children. Because to be honest with you, a 4 bedroom is not big enough for my entire family. It would have to be like a 4 or bedroom with a uh, with a family room. All of my kids, they still need their mother right now. My kids are probably going to leave the home a little bit later than what I did because I moved out at first when I was 18. I wasn't necessarily ready, but I still moved out when I was 18. Okay, so you got to prepare kids and see, I have to be totally independent for my kids to be independent. So, this whole welfare thing and this whole codependency, it does seem to affect the generations under. And I broke the cycle. I'm breaking the cycle. You know what I'm saying? Even though that wasn't a cycle that my mother had, that may have been something that could have been, on my father's side, maybe this codependency on the government could be. You don't necessarily have to, be that way for the rest of your life. You work yourself up to a point to where you're not codependent on that stuff. And even if you are, even if you, hell, I mean, there's some people out there, they make $10 an hour, they got 3 kids. You're gonna need, if you make $10 an hour and you have 3 children, you're gonna need food stamps for sure, unless you have a hustle, unless you have like something that you do on the side outside of that job to make extra money. $10 an hour is not gonna feed 3 children. It's not. Now, I don't care how much you budget it. $800 every 2 weeks ain't gonna do nothing. And then trust me, I've been there. You know why? Because I've been there, done that. I've been there, done that. I've had 3 kids with a $10 to $11 an hour job. And I still survived. Of course, I had to get help. I made a choice in my mind years ago that when my children got older, that I was going, and I don't even know why I waited until they got older. Don't wait till your children get older. What you waiting for? Do it now. I should have did it years ago. But I was too sleep back then, y'all. I wasn't trying to be no psychic reader back then. Now I will tell you that I always wanted to go into real estate. Real estate um is an excellent field for people to go into that have a family. It is, because you can set your own schedule. In fact, if you're a married couple and one of you is working, the other one, should consider real estate. Even though real estate could be a very congested field, very competitive, so is the psychic business. So is witchcraft, I guess, because people are out here competing. But you know, you still have to make sure that you shine over everybody else or that you getting yours. You know what I'm saying? And if a person ain't getting theirs, is that your fault? If the next person ain't getting theirs? That's why I tell my haters and enemies, well, you just doing that because you're not getting yours. And you hating on me. You know? Those things that people do are such a waste of time, but I'm gonna tell you something, it's energy. It is energy. And you know what you got to do with energy. It's not about the energy that's being thrown at you, it's how you react to it. Are you going to let it get you down? No. I mean, to be honest with you, none of us have, failure is not a choice for any of us. None of you are going to fail. I can promise you, everybody that's listening to this and thumbsing this up, because I see y'all out there, and you may be in transition just like me. You may be in the same boat. You're not going to fail. Why would you? As long as you don't make failure an option. you know you don't have a choice. And then also, you already know what God has done for you. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've had a lot of nice houses. I've had houses with vaulted ceilings. I've had houses with finished basements. I've had houses with 2-car garages. I've had houses with, you know, gas burning fireplaces. I've lived in all sorts of different places. I've lived in a place that was crappy. I've lived in a little crappy apartment too before. I've moved around a lot. I have. And part of the reason why I've had to move around is because I've always been moving sort of out of desperation. Now, I will say that, to the point where, I'll go from this place to this place, not really finding a more so of a permanent place to settle down. And then some of y'all got those gypsy spirits that keep you moving around, because as soon as I get into a satisfactory house, especially when I buy my house, I'm gonna start traveling. That's really what I should be doing, is traveling. I'm not sick, or old. And even when I get older, I'm not saying that y'all are sick and old, because some of y'all older people do have sicknesses and stuff, and certain ailments, but some of y'all are healthy. You can be a 60 or a 70-year-old woman that's healthy and traveling around and moving around. You don't have to, just because you get older doesn't mean that you have to be trapped in your house, or you have to be trapped in one place. I mean, I think that we all go through our periods of hermit mode, but it depends on what you want at that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to go and visit Louisiana. I want to go and visit Niagara Falls in Canada. There's a lot of different. I want to go visit other countries one day. I want to do some traveling. And I like boats. I don't want to just buy one house. I want to also have a house and a vacation house. All of those things that you want, you are destined to obtain. If you were not destined to obtain those things that you want, you wouldn't want them. You wouldn't want those things. Why do you want them? Because it's your destiny to obtain them. Either you've already seen yourself with them and you're headed towards that direction, okay? Or all of us are partially living in our futures. The future is already happening right now for a lot of us. And if you yourself see the future where you want it to be, and you're working towards that, what do you have to worry about? Not much of anything. But there are people that worry. I know that yesterday I was worried sick. I had that spirit of worry over me, or either it was coming out of me. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, worrying and anxiety, that does nothing for your money. You know when I make my most money? When I kick back and I sit back and I relax and the money just comes to me. I wouldn't, I mean, to be honest with you, when you know it what you know if you're upset about money, or if you need money or emergency cash, a lot of the times, sitting back and thinking. But see, guys, y'all got to understand that in that healing work that I'm doing, it also involves money. Because I will tell you that I was broke 5 years ago. I was broken. I was broke my whole life. I had jobs and stuff, but I was still broke. I still couldn't afford to take care of my children that I had given birth to. So when you're healing, it's also the money. It's the money. That's why I said I had the waterworks yesterday, because that is something unblocking. I felt like Archangel Raphael unblocked something in me, because I've been doing this healing for 2 weeks. A lot of stuff came about. A lot of stuff came up with that. I put all of my children on that healing too, because many of us do need to heal. Because all of us have the power to manifest anything that we want. It's just that we think that we can't, or we think it's impossible. But then when you start to realize that even the impossible becomes possible all the time. Like, there's a lot of people that are like, oh my God, there's no way I could ever do this. That's why men give up on taking care of their kids. You see it all the time. They become overwhelmed with the amount of kids that they have, and they just give up and blame the woman. We see it all the time. They think a lot of these men think there's no way I could ever take care of all of these kids. That's actually not true. Why can't you start your own business and become successful? We should, it's there's no reason why everybody can't at least become a thousandaire. I'm focusing on becoming a millionaire. There's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of people give up. They say, "Oh, well, I can't do that." Well, why can't you? Because the white man held me back. No, not really. Okay, well, he held you back then, but what is he doing now? Oh, well, somebody so and so told me that I couldn't do it, so then that meant that I can't. It would be impossible. Well, then how do you know unless you try? Some people don't even try. Most people don't even try. They just say it's impossible. They try to tell me that it would be impossible for me to take care of my 4 children. God says that's not true. That's not true. Okay? I'm just keeping it real with you. If you keep thinking in terms of what kind of job you can get, a lot of people say, well, I can't take care of 4 kids on my own without so and so and so. I only make $13 an hour. That's, yeah, if you continue to limit yourself within that. Okay, so this is what you do. You keep your job, but then you start a business. What's wrong with that? Why is it that people think that when they start their own businesses, they're going to take away from somebody else? And then people think that when somebody else has a business, that is going to take away from them. It doesn't work that way. Okay? I am on the indigo frequency. I can promise you that there's plenty enough to go around. You can have prosperity and abundance anytime. You don't have to sit up here and limit yourself. So, I think that I was unblocking some stuff. And then also, I felt like what many of you other women do feel, especially when people are attacking you about your kids. Listen, I'm a high priestess. Yes, I am a goddess. Any goddess is going to defend her children. So a lot of people that that are dealing with this situation, they think, well, I'm different. I'm different than some people. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like, though, a lot of women, that when they feel like something is happening to them and they keep saying, hey, this is happening to me and this is affecting me in this certain way, or, when nobody listens to you, like most of the time when something is happening to you, if you're either being abused or neglected, people don't listen. So, that in itself, at the end of the day, yes, we're all going to focus on having abundance and prosperity, but we still got to heal these kids and we still got to help the world. We can't just make it all about money. There's people out there that are suffering. There's children and women and men too that need our help, that, they just need, I don't know, maybe love, maybe they need encouragement, maybe they need information. Information is very powerful and valuable. So, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at this point, and I woke up this morning, I felt so good. I felt different. I felt like it was so weird. It was some kind of energy shift yesterday, and I knew it was going to be. So I was not surprised. Y'all, I was crying all day. And the only thing I kept thinking about was how Jesus wept, and how I felt not just Jesus, but it was like the whole, like it was mourning or something. But then again, it was also like, the energy of mourning something that happened in the past. Maybe it was something that you were supposed to cry about, but you didn't. And so you finally did. And then now you finally feel better. So I think a lot of people was emotional probably yesterday. Because I can tell how, like, I feel like it's a lot of peace and healing today for a lot of people, to where, and you know what? Don't worry about what other people are doing. If you feel that peace and you feel that healing, then just pray that others find it. Don't go and look at somebody else that chooses to still be in pain about something. Don't go and look at them and become discouraged um of your own healing, because people are going to heal at a different rate. You may have done a lot of healing yesterday. I know them healing portals was open yesterday. They was open. I'm telling you. I don't know what it was about yesterday. I meant to do a reading, but I was way too emotional to even do a reading. Something was going on though. And I think it was for the better. I think it was good. I think it was a good thing, because a lot of good things happened yesterday. Okay? So, if other people are still having a hard time healing, then just pray for them. You know what I'm saying? And pray for your, I feel like it is important to pray for your enemies, because your enemies are really just hurt people. You know what I'm saying? And hurt people want to hurt people. So, especially if you the type of person like me, I attract a lot of broken people. And you know what? I sometimes like to try to put those people back together, because that's how I am. I'm a healer. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I get really sad when I try to help somebody and I can't. But then again, you can't necessarily, well, first of all, if you haven't tried everything, you know what I'm saying? Especially if it's somebody that's close to you, that you love and you care about, or especially if it's your kid. If you haven't tried everything for your child, then it's important not to give up. Even though you may have moments where you feel like giving up, you don't never want to give up. Okay? Especially when you're a parent. I don't believe in doing that. Now you have to get yourself to a certain level first, though, for your kids to be okay. Because I know for a fact that y'all, Jacob, he doesn't like it here in this extended stay. He does not like it. He doesn't. He's been, and he'll ask me, he'll say, Mama, when are we moving into our house? And I'll be like, it'll be soon, baby. He does not like it, and he has made it perfectly clear. You know, he's a kid. Kids are like that. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to understand, well, it takes time, and then there was even a point where I had applied for this place, um, and my old landlord stopped it, just being evil, lying to people, and he stopped it. So, he'll never do that again, but he did because I just wasn't thinking. I don't even know why I even put it on there, because technically, especially if you have an attorney or a lawyer, look, if somebody is lying on you, you don't have to continue to present that person and try to convince people that they're lying. Just move on. I don't even mention that dude, and I don't have to because he's not anywhere on my credit, and I don't owe him nothing. I don't even have to mention anything. So if you got something like that going on, even with a person, you don't have to keep presenting this person to people and getting them to figure it out. Just move on. Just move on. Listen, people will, otherwise, you'll just be struggling your whole life. Stop presenting people that cause struggle. You don't have to continue and that's why I don't even really, if you notice, guys, it's going to be a point in time where I don't even really have to, well, right now I don't have to talk about him. I'm saying that because I know that there's some of y'all that are going through similar stuff with landlords that think that they own the world. And, so if you ask me, if you were in my situation, if a lot of people need to not allow people like that to ruin them. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm in the bathroom getting me some coffee. That sounds weird, doesn't it? But I'm in a room, so I'm cleaning out my coffee cup. Um, so, because, yeah, there are going to be people out there that are going to try to screw you over and try to, make things more difficult for your family. Don't ever let nobody make you feel powerless either. I think that when people try to do that, that's when I rise up. I always rise. I do. When people try to do stuff like that, because that situation can be devastating. But you know what? When people do dirty stuff like that to you, just send it back. Do what you got to do. If things are moving forward for you and you know that you're on the right path, you don't have nothing to worry about. Just be grateful and be thankful for what you have. So today is the 21st. And many of you are going to, be getting your taxes back soon. Okay. Now, the reason why you'll want to invest some of that money, okay, here I go with my sales spiel, but it's the truth though. Okay. The reason why a lot of y'all have certain issues is because there's a spiritual debt that needs to be paid. So make sure that you not only pay your debts, but you also need to pay your spiritual debts. Okay? So focus on paying them spiritual debts and you'll be surprised at how, life will get better for you. Okay? What time is it? Okay, guys, I gotta get out of here because I gotta go take care of some business in a few minutes. I will see you guys later. I got a lot of readings to do today, so I'm just gonna kind of relax today because I had to push everybody over to today. So I'm definitely not available today for readings. I have a full schedule today. But if you guys want readings, I will be available tomorrow. Okay, so you can get on the schedule for tomorrow. So I'll see you guys later. Love and light, peace and blessings. And if you guys ever need me for any like spiritual help as far as like with other types of psychic attacks, okay? Because there's many different types of psychic attacks. Many of them end you guys up in the hospital. A lot of people end up going to the hospital when they have psychic attacks because they think that they're dying. So, and some people have that a lot. I did heal myself of anxiety. I've noticed that because, I mean, obviously, last year I had a lot of anxiety living in that house. It was like under the surface. When you find yourself in a situation where you're constantly fighting with anxiety, that's not good either because you can feel it coming to the surface, but you just kind of, and a lot of times anxiety can be other things. It could be intel coming in because I know that I got a lot of information yesterday from my spirits. I mean, they was doing a lot yesterday, so I kind of regret that I didn't do a reading. Or did I do a reading yesterday? I didn't do any readings yesterday. Nope. Maybe we'll look back. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a 2020 reading. And I already did a 2020 reading, guys. By the way, it's up here. I did like I think I did like a universal 2020 reading. So I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna see in comparison what spirit says about 2020 and what messages that spirits have for you for 2020. Okay. Anyway, have a good day at work. Love and light.